After the Red Bull Formula One team orders dispute in Brazil, Max Verstappen reacted angrily to ridiculous media reporting, disgusting comments, and threats made against his family on social media. He even called out the fans for their ridiculous behavior. Do you think it's fair that Verstappen is putting the blame on the fans after his outburst last weekend? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. After last Sunday's Interlagos race, Verstappen's unwillingness to allow Sergio Perez to pass on the final lap of the Brazilian Grand Prix and his evasive defense of it based on an incident that occurred far earlier in the 2022 F1 season generated a compelling narrative. According to a number of sources, Verstappen is refusing to support Perez in his bid for second place in the F1 Drivers' Championship because he believes Perez intentionally crashed during Monaco GP qualifying. Given the several times Perez gladly moved aside to assist Verstappen's double winning of the World Championships, Perez voiced disappointment at Verstappen's behavior in Brazil. Red Bull has attempted to contain the consequences. Prior to both drivers' Sunday evening press conference in Brazil, the team made an effort to brief them both. The team then released a statement prior to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, admitting mistakes in how it handled the Brazil team order and denouncing the online abuse that resulted from that incident. Verstappen said he previously explained his position to Red Bull in Mexico and believed the team understood and agreed, so he did not anticipate being told to let Perez through on the final lap of the Brazilian GP. Verstappen was speaking to the F1 media once more on Thursday in the Yas Marina paddock. Verstappen criticized the media coverage of the race after calling for more internal communication and asserting that he has never been a bad teammate. "After that race, I looked very bad in the media," he said. Also, they didn't have a clear picture. To immediately put me down like that is pretty ridiculous, to be honest, because they don't know how I work within the team and what the team appreciates about me. All the things I've read have been pretty disgusting. And also, even more than that, they started attacking my family. They were threatening my sister, my mom, my girlfriend, my dad. For me, that goes way too far when you don't even have the facts of what was actually going on. That definitely has to stop. If you have a problem with me, that's fine, but don't go after my family. That is just unacceptable. We move on. I have a great relationship with Checo Perez, but I just don't understand when people don't have the full picture to immediately start attacking me like that. But I hope one day they actually understand what was going on, because it's just unacceptable behavior. Just so many people also in this paddock, not only fans but a lot of people, what they've been writing about me is just ridiculous. Verstappen continued by expressing his extreme disappointment at how quickly people write so many negative things without knowing the full facts. He claimed that by publishing stories of this nature, F1's general media contribute to all the problems social media has. The current world champion of F1, who avoided mentioning any particular writings or instances, also disclosed his sister had gotten in touch with him and asked him to help de-escalate the situation. It's getting way too much. When your own sister writes you that it's getting way too much and you have to do something about it, I think that says enough. Verstappen added, "And then, yes, it does get to me. You cannot attack my family." Verstappen was pressed once more about the true causes of his initial defiance of Red Bull's team order and asked to clarify why he did not correct the record at the time and instead let the media fill in the blanks. "We keep it between the team and myself," insisted Verstappen. "You don't know the real story, so you don't need to write the story. I'm just a bit fed up with this bull going around all the time. As soon as there's something negative, it needs to be highlighted. It's pretty sickening being a part of all that, while at the end of the day, I haven't even done anything wrong. People just misunderstood what's going on." But what had exactly happened that Verstappen refuses to help his teammate? Many are speculating that it has everything to do with the qualifying in Monaco earlier this year. But Sergio Perez denies that he crashed during qualifying on purpose. Sergio Perez has refuted allegations that he intentionally crashed during Formula One qualifying at the Monaco Grand Prix and stated that Red Bull's discussions in Brazil were limited to the implementation of team orders on that day and did not cover Max Verstappen's larger motivations for disobeying them. Verstappen refused to give teammate Perez 6th place back at the conclusion of the Brazilian Grand Prix, citing "about something that happened in the past" as his justification. This refusal led to the crash allegations. This has given rise to speculation that it is connected to Perez's crash on his final flying lap in Monaco's Q3 at the Portier right-hander before the tunnel, though Verstappen will not confirm this. In that event, Perez spun into the barrier and Ferrari driver Carlos Sainz caught the Red Bull, and that raised the red flag. This meant that the grid was constructed using the times from the initial runs in Q3, with Charles Leclerc starting on pole ahead of Sainz, and Perez finishing third ahead of Verstappen. The latter would have moved ahead of Perez, who went on to win the Grand Prix on Sunday, had he been on a faster qualifying lap, which he looked like before the red flag. Perez denied intentionally crashing in Monaco when asked whether he had done so on Thursday in Abu Dhabi. "Everyone makes mistakes in Monaco," said Perez. "You have all the information and you can go and see it. I nearly crashed in Turn 1, Saint-Devote, and everyone makes mistakes in Monaco or general places in qualifying. It's not like it was done on purpose." Asked by the media to talk through the crash, Perez said he was pushing his throttle application to make up for lost time on his second run. "I mean, I'm chasing the lap time in Monaco," Perez explained. "You can review the whole lap and you can already see that I nearly crashed already in Turn 1. I'm just giving it everything. It is the last run of Q3. People just make mistakes, you know? And that's really it when you're chasing the lap time. But you can already see that from Turn 1 I was playing with the throttle, trying to because it was where I was losing the lap time. And you can see already into Turn 1 that I nearly lost it already." Perez said that he was using his throttle input to try and improve the turn around Portier, but this caused the incident. He emphasized that the team's conversations on the subject in Brazil will remain internal, but claimed that they were entirely focused on how the team handled orders that day at Interlagos, rather than what they had prompted Verstappen to mention that something that happened in the past had motivated his decision. "It's best so we don't open any speculation and we are able to move on and we are able to be the team we used to be, united and strong, and that's the priority of the team," Perez explained on the refusal to share details of the talks. "We discussed what happened in Brazil and we went through all the scenarios. So the mistakes we did as a team instead of not preparing the race enough and so on. We want to put all of this behind us and just move forwards." When asked about how long he had known Verstappen was harboring doubts about the Monaco event, Perez responded, "Whether it is Monaco or other things, that's down to him to tell you. I don't know how long it's been there." He replied, adding that they had never truly talked about it. When Perez was asked to clarify that the reasons for Verstappen's broader opposition to supporting him were not discussed in the post-race discussions in Brazil, he responded, "Correct." In a statement released on Thursday, Red Bull said that it made some mistakes in Brazil by failing to fully address the possibility of team orders and placing Verstappen in a compromising situation with little time to react. When asked about rumors that Red Bull had carried out an internal investigation into the Monaco crash and Perez had then admitted to doing it deliberately, Perez replied, "The rumor is wrong." Perez accepts that accusations of cheating and speculations are part of the sport. "This happened so many races ago that it's totally irrelevant," Perez added. "I'm thinking about this weekend. I'm thinking about making sure the team is in good spirits because we've had a tremendous season. It's been a hell of a year for Red Bull, and I don't want any of this to take any enjoyment for any of the guys in my team. I think Max and myself, we have a very strong responsibility to keep this united team going forward." It seems like the story has two tales, but which one do you believe? And do you think Verstappen was right to hit out at F1 and the fans? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel whilst you're down there. As always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.